Hi fam, welcome to Honestly Me, where I have honest conversations for women of color. I am your host Shanisha, and this is my special guest.
Hi, Marissa.
And we are going to share stories of healing and hope. So this is actually my second Girl Talk series. And if you're not familiar with that, basically what you could do is go to my website, honestly.me, click on Girl Talk, and fill out the box with your information. And what I do is I have a little talk with my girlfriends. So actually this one, you actually suggested it, and it was Black women and mental health.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who don't know you, can you just explain some about who you are and what you do for our audience?
So first of all, I am a graduate of Norfolk State University.
Oh my God.
But right now, I graduated with a social work master's degree in clinical concentration. And right now, I am a mental health counselor. I work for Western Tidewater Community Service Board, which we service ID and ASD population. And we just help them with different skills they need to help them within the community.
Okay. So for those who didn't know anything what she was talking about, she basically helped people out with their mental health, basically. So my first question is, so self-care is like trendy right now. Mm-hmm. So do you consider mental health and self-care to be like the same thing? And if they're not, can you explain what both things are?
So they're not considered the same thing. Self-care is basically how you treat your mental health. Your mental health can be something as overwhelming or depression, anxiety, different things like that. And then your self-care is how you treat it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. So what self-care strategies would you suggest for other people, for those who may be on a budget and for those who may be at home because it's a pandemic?
Right. So basically, your self-care is something that you find interesting. So my self-care would look different from your self-care because you like to read books. Yes, I don't like to read books, so that would not be my self-care. So some of the self-care things that I do on a budget is maybe take a bubble bath. I forgot what that little scented air thing where you put your essential oils in and then some of the air comes out. I forgot what that is. But just something calming in the air. You can do that, which they come very cheap. And just enjoying yourself. Watch a movie. I mean, that's easy. And just relaxing. Sometimes you can just pop in, some calming music for 10, 15 minutes and just relax.
That's good. I like what you said about the smell, because people don't think that a smell can change like your state of mind. So that's a good one. So my next question is, well, I think you answered it. How do you maintain a positive mental health space? I think you answered it already.
Right. So one thing, how I maintain it is I make sure that I actually do it. So that's something that's difficult for me to do because it's like, even though we're in a pandemic, you still feel like you have so much stuff to do, or I can be doing this, or I can be doing that. People are trying to start their own businesses. That's something else that we started to do rather than just taking the time to relax, focus on yourself, even trying to improve on yourself, what you can do better, different things like that. But actually, I know I'm a calendar person, but putting it down and saying, this is what I'm going to do this day so I can actually do it.
Okay, that's good. So do you think that self-care looks different from women to men? Because a lot of women are like, yeah, self-care. But do you think that it's different for women to men? And would you say that self-care is different from white women and black women?
Well, to answer that question, it's different for everybody. So, we're women and we're both black. But my self-care, again, is not going to be the same self-care, as you do. Men, I don't think they may call it self-care. But, they may go play games, video games, different things like that. or just different type of electronics. That's something that they may do, and we're more so, let me just relax, listen to some music, maybe take a bubble bath or read a book.
Yes,
something like that. I wouldn't say white people are crafty, but I know some people do cricketing. I know a lot of Caucasian people, they do crafting, but my best friend is a crafter.
Yeah, I know a few of us who craft.
Right,
yes.
So they enjoy doing that too. So it's just like on an individual basis type thing.
Okay, that's good. I didn't think about it like that. Okay. But the reason I asked that is because sometimes in the Black community there's a stigma with like mental health. It's like, like just take it, you'll be fine. So do you think that that's true for us, and where do you think it like comes from?
I think in our Black community that they think mental health is, they go to the extreme. So when they say mental health, they think it's somebody they see on the street that's talking to themselves, that may haven't took a shower in a long time. That's what people may think when mental health can be just as small as a seasonal depression or just having anxiety for that moment. That's all types of mental health. And we're just putting a title on it. So that's just like when you go to the doctor, you have a cut. They may call it laceration. It's just a title of what this profession has to put in, inside the computer, or what we do just to name it. So I do think our community is definitely afraid of that word. I think that is changing though. Just like you said, self-care is like a thing that everybody is doing now, which is really good, and it's important. But specifically for Black women, I just feel like we feel like that we just have to continue to go. Like we don't have enough time in the day, or we don't deserve to have time to ourselves. We may think it's selfish, especially for people that may have like single home families that are just women, and they just feel like they don't have time, which that only increases your mental health, which is something that we just have to say, maybe, okay, I do need to be a little selfish so I can continue to take care of somebody else, because if we don't take care of ourselves, how are we going to take care of somebody else?
That's good. I've been reading a lot of like blogs about that, about like women, like Black women, just taking so much and then just not having time, or not like you said, feeling like they can't take the time for themselves. So that's good. It's good that you say that. Okay, so how about this one? So that's for the Black community. So let's add in, would you say that Black people who are Christians have a problem with mental health, or they think that it should be just this one thing? Like, okay, that's mental health, but I believe that I believe in God and He'll do, what He does. So do you believe that that's a difference too?
I think in different circumstances it is. I take it as it is the same thing. So I'm learning that things that are in the Bible, when the devil, God is casting out like different spirits in somebody. In my profession, you would say something like that could be schizophrenia. So some people in the Christian community would say, that's a type of mental health, which is the same thing. And as a Christian, that is also a type of self-care. Let me pray to God, or just let me learn how to lean on Him, get in a better relationship. That's a type of self-care for Christians. Let me hang around my Christian community, and different, reading the Bible. A lot of people do that as self-care too. So I think it meshes together. I do know some people, I would say older Christians, they think that may be separate. They think mental health may be the devil.
Yeah. Yeah. So so with that, I'm sorry, Chris, but where would you say like that fear, like, because I know people who are like afraid of like mental health too. Like, what do you think? That comes from?
I think sometimes fear comes from a lack of knowledge. They don't know what's going on. Sometimes they may not even want to know what's going on, so they just stray away from it and just leave it there. So I do think that's where a lot of it comes from, just like when people say, no, I don't have no type of, mental health. Well, what do you think mental health is? Again, like I said before, they just think it's somebody that they see across the street that is talking themselves to death, or a sociopath. We don't have to go to the extreme just to say, okay, I have some type of seasonal depression, like I mentioned before. So it's just all in the matter of learning what mental health is. Yeah. Because we all have some type of mental health.
That's good. This is good for me, good for my audience. This is good. So my last question, do you have any final advice for someone who is going through depression, with it being a pandemic, or anxiety, not having the income that they used to have? And do you have any last advice for those folks?
So for people that are dealing with depression, and especially right now, I honestly think they're getting ready to make COVID-19 an actual, mental health diagnosis, because a lot of people are really dealing with severe anxiety of even going out, trying to catch it, different things like that. Depression because they don't have anything to do. I know a lot of my clients are dealing with that right now. But if you are dealing with those types, I would say seek out a professional. Even if you do not have the money, they take Medicaid. If you have insurance, they take insurance. You don't have to pay a copay. And then also, even if you're still afraid of going out, they are doing a lot of telehealth type of things. Yes. We're doing telehealth. I just forgot, because there's I forgot what it's called. Anyways, they have counselors that are there for you through telehealth. I completely forgot what it's called. They have commercials and everything now. Completely forgot. Yeah, but just do your research and do that help. Even if you feel like maybe it's just boredom and you're getting depressed, try to find different things that you can do within the home. People are being creative now. Yeah. Yes. Sometimes we may not just need to speak to anybody. It may just be we just need to do something. Keep your mind busy. Just like I said before, a lot of people are starting their own businesses, or pick up a trade, or different things that you lost before and that you're good at, like crafting, different things like that. Try to do something during this time. Try to exercise. Exercise it decreases your stress level. Go outside, take a little walk, bring your mask with you, or exercise, do some jumping jacks in the inside, or mountain climbers, different things that you can do just to keep yourself busy.
Okay, well, that was good. Thank you for joining me, and that was our Girl Talk series, guys. Again, if you would like to suggest a topic, go to my website, honestly.me, fill out the form, and I can do this once again. But that's all we have now time for now, guys. Keep being honest.